Good day, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity to present in IC's 2025. I am Ruel Facunla from the Technological Institute of the Philippines, and I will be presenting my research contribution titled Quantum-Inspired and Caching-Enhanced Needleman-Wunsch Algorithm for Scalable Global Sequence Alignment. This presentation is structured into four parts: introduction, methodology, results, and conclusion. The motivation of this research stems from the limitations in current approaches. Classical alignment algorithms offer accuracy but are not optimized for the scale and complexity of modern biological data. This results in high computational costs. Distributed systems, while scalable, struggle with tasks requiring dense inter-process communication, often introducing latency and synchronization issues. Given the exponential growth of data from next generation sequencing or NGS, there is a pressing need for alternative computational frameworks that can balance the speed, scalability, and accuracy. Our view of related literatures highlights three categories. Classical algorithms emphasize the correctness but lack performance for large scale datasets. Heuristic and graph based methods speed up alignment but often sacrifice accuracy. Quantum computing offers a promising paradigm, but is still constrained by hardware availability and maturity. This guided the development of a hybrid quantum inspired approach that brings quantum efficiency to classical systems. Prior work on enhancing Needleman-Wunsch includes techniques such as using affine gap penalties, heuristic algorithms, seed-based alignment, graph-based approaches, and even GPU acceleration. This research identifies two major bottlenecks: limited scalability of alignment algorithms when applied to large genomic sequences, repeated computations of match and mismatch scores for identical character pairs. To address this, the proposed method introduces the Grover-inspired scoring and caching mechanisms to reduce overhead and improve runtime. Caching of match or mismatch scores prevents the redundant computations, and Grover-inspired amplitude amplification simulate a quantum-like probabilistic scoring on classical hardware. This approach was implemented in Python, accelerated via the vectorized computation, and extended to distributed environments using Apache Spark or PySpark. The classic algorithm follows three stages: matrix initialization, matrix filling, and traceback. In this research, the algorithm is structured to integrate score precomputation and quantum-inspired enhancements directly into the matrix filling step. In traditional implementations, during each dynamic programming matrix update, the alignment score for sequence 1 and 2 is recalculated, even when the same character pair occurs multiple times. This results in repeated and unnecessary computations. This also leads to exponential increases in computational overhead as sequence lengths grow, inefficient use of CPU time and memory resources, particularly in repetitive or homopolymer-rich sequences. So to optimize these, the algorithm first precompute the scores. These precomputed values are derived using Grover-inspired scoring, where each score represents the weighted probability of a match or mismatch. Once stored in a cache, these scores can be accessed in constant time during the alignment process. This method avoids repetitive evaluations and improves the runtime efficiency. The scoring formula simulates Grover's amplitude amplification, where the probabilities are computed as the square of amplitudes. As weighted score combines match and mismatch probabilities, this is used in a modified recurrence relation that improves both accuracy and computational depth. This quantum-inspired mechanism introduces probabilistic behavior while maintaining deterministic outputs. Simulation shows that for various sequences pairs, the proposed NWQIS algorithm returns virtually identical alignment scores as traditional methods, with only minor floating point deviations due to the scoring formula changes. Alignment accuracy remains consistent, proving that quantum-inspired scoring preserves results integrity. Execution times for NWQIS were consistently faster than both classical DPA and optimized NWA algorithms. This confirms the high fidelity in alignment results and significant runtime efficiency. In this figure, it illustrates the execution time trends when aligning the reference sequence against sequences of Geminicoccus flavida strain CPCC 1010A2 available in the NCBI database, with sequence lengths ranging from 203 to 32,759 nucleotides. The results show that the slowest reduction in execution time occurs when the reference and query sequences are nearly the same length. So see the red line, with performance gains below 5%. However, as the difference between the lengths of the reference and the query sequences increases, NWQIS achieves greater efficiency. This confirms that it becomes more effective when handling more disparate sequence lengths. These figures collectively highlight the computational and memory performance of DPA, NWA, and NWQIS across varying sequence lengths. In the upper left figure, execution time increases with sequence size for all methods. However, NWQIS exhibits the best scaling, maintaining a slower and more consistent growth. DPA shows the steepest increase, while the lower left figure confirms NWQIS as the fastest across all tested lengths, especially beyond 10,000 nucleotides, where its quantum-inspired optimizations deliver substantial computational savings. In contrast, DPA becomes increasingly impractical at these scales. The lower right figure shows that memory usage rises linearly for all algorithms as sequence length grows. NWQIS demonstrates memory efficiency comparable to NWA and outperforms DPA, this particularly at longer lengths. DPA also displays higher memory variability, likely due to its dynamic programming structure. The upper right figure further confirms that DPA consumes the most memory for sequences of the same length, whereas NWQIS and NWA maintain a relatively stable footprint after an initial rise. These trends highlight NWQIS as both computationally efficient and memory conscious, making it well suited for large-scale bioinformatics applications. The following figures provide a heat map and visualization of execution times for NWA and NWQIS across varying sequence lengths. Both heat maps reaffirm the quadratic time complexity. This is expected from sequence alignment algorithms. However, a clear distinction emerges. The quantum-inspired scoring mechanisms consistently results in a lower execution times, especially as sequence lengths grow larger. The lighter color gradients in the NWQIS heat map on the right side compared to the standard NWA heatmap on the left side, visually confirm this improvement and highlights the broader region faster run times. These results further support the scalability and efficiency gains offered by the quantum-inspired approach. This suggests that NWQIS is particularly well suited for large-scale sequence alignment. Further evaluation was conducted in a distributed computing environment using PySpark on a workstation equipped with an Intel Core i5 10210U processor and 16 GB of RAM. The graph presents the execution times of the NWA and NWQIS as a function of the number of repetitions during the alignment of the query sequence with 373 base pairs against database of 60 genome sequences with lengths ranging from 249 to 24,465 base pairs. The results show that both algorithms experience significant reductions in execution time as the number of partitions increases from 1 to 4, reflecting improved parallelism. Beyond 4 partitions, the benefits diminish. This indicates that further repartitioning yields only marginal gains. Throughout the test, NWQIS consistently outperformed the NWA. This achieves lower execution times across all repartition values. Additionally, the two-period moving average curves reveal that NWQIS maintains a smoother and more efficient execution profile compared to NWA. These findings demonstrate the NWQIS delivers superior performance and scalability even on modest hardware, making it highly promising for distributed bioinformatics workflows. We can conclude that NWQIS delivers alignment accuracy comparable to classical methods, with only minimal numerical differences in score due to its quantum-inspired scoring mechanism, while consistently achieving faster execution time and lower memory usage. NWQIS demonstrates superior scalability with increasing sequence lengths, maintaining efficient execution and memory patterns. And in Apache Spark, NWQIS outperforms NWA across all partition levels, confirming its practical utility for parallel processing and global sequence alignment. So for the future work, building on these studies' promising results, here are the future directions that are proposed to enhance the NWQIS. We can try to explore integrating hardware accelerations, validate the approach on a wider variety of genomic datasets, extend NWQIS to other programming environments or platforms, investigate combining NWQIS with heuristic or graph-based alignment tools, or to test NWQIS on an actual quantum hardware to assess its feasibility and advantage over the purely classical implementations. That is all for my presentation. Thank you for listening.